What is going on, Cover One crew? Welcome back to the show. Hope everybody is good as always. I'm wonderful. What a night it was last night. Yes, I know the NFL Honors whole ceremony thing is kind of lame, but my boy Josh Allen, he got himself the MVP award. Congrats to Josh. Finally, they got everybody, the voters got out of their own way and recognized Josh Allen as one of the best quarterbacks in the entire NFL. Absolutely love it for him. But what are we doing today? Dynasty rankings, continuing down this path, this time on the wide receivers, doing the top 30. A lot of quality wide receiver pass catchers in this league as of today. And I mean, this list right now is going to be very fluid. Once you pass, I want to say around like the number 20 spot, very much a mix and match approach. But as of today, before we are kicking off into the Super Bowl, this is how I see these gentlemen, and they should continue to be very much similar, but some adjustments down the board. Let's talk number one. JaMarr Chase jumps a JJ as my top wide receiver, and it's legit 1A. Chase or JJ, it does not matter. Whoever these guys are, wherever they are, I should say, I mean, it's 1A. You can't go wrong with either. I mean, the only reason I got Chase legitimately above is this past season of 17 touchdowns and the fact that Joey B is his quarterback, where JJ is going to lose a Sam Darnold, highly likely, and we'll see what a McCarthy is going to be in the NFL. So right now, that's the only reason. Stellar season, 1,700 yards, 1,500 yards respectively. These guys are the cream of the crop in the NFL. Number 3, CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee's always been my dude, man, even going back to OU days. Love me some CeeDee Lamb. Dealt with an injury this year. Dak went down with an injury, and this mofo still put up 101 receptions for almost 1,200 yards. CeeDee Lamb is he belongs in that category of the top wide receivers in this league. Without question, anybody that doubts it, you should have your head examined. CeeDee is a killer wide receiver, elite talented wide receivers. He belongs in the tier with Chase and a JJ. Number 4, might surprise some, Malik Nabers. New York Giants, definitely from what I saw this past year, playing with patch-made solutions at the quarterback position. He had a killer year as well. 109, 1204, and 7 TDs. 21 years of age. Mr. LSU. I mean, wide receiver U, definitely, man. 73% on that boom rate with all that garbage at quarterback. No disrespect to the quarterbacks. I don't play football, so I shouldn't be saying that. But I'm telling y'all, I mean, he could have had a lot better. Let's just say that it was quite porous at the quarterback spot. So Malik Nabers, you get him a quarterback, whether it's going to be Ward, whether it's going to be Sanders, whether it's going to be whatever they do this offseason. I think Nabers' future is extremely bright. You get him a good franchise quarterback, he's going to rival those top dogs in this league without question. Number 5, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Still killing it, still doing the business, 70% on that boom rate. Kind of, they eased off him in quite a few contests this year. Didn't have to rely on him as much. Still put up massive numbers, 115 for 1263 and 12 TDs. Amon-Ra is still one of the best wide receivers in fantasy football every single year. The way that this offense is schemed up with a run-heavy approach with Jared Goff, they have chemistry up the wazoo, and we know Amon-Ra is going to continue down this path of being one of the best wide receivers in this league without question. 70% on that boom rate, definitely took a hit this year. Like I said, he did miss quite a few games when it came to the boom. Only hit on 12 games out of 17. So I mean, it is one of those situations where you see this offense kind of morphing with a JMO, with Laporta, trying to spread the ball around, be a little bit more multifaceted, but he still put up 258 points. Still good enough for number 5. Number 6, Puka Nacua. Now with the news of a no Cooper Kupp situation with the Los Angeles Rams. Puka, 22 years of age, 72% on that boom rate, did miss some time to injury, still put up a good season. Only 3 TDs this year. I mean, okay, his point totals weren't necessarily there, but I mean, the only thing that does concern me about Puka is the amount of time he is spending in the medical room already. That is a concern for them to already say, we're done with Cooper Kupp. Contractual situation definitely has something to do with that, but I mean, Puka definitely showcased the fact that he is a true wide receiver 1 in this league, and with the Matthew Stafford, he should continue to see a heaping of point totals. Brian Thomas Jr., Jacksonville Jaguars. Duval in the house, man. I think I did it better than the new head coach. Duval, that's how you do it, coach. I mean, come on now. You got to put some oomph into it, but nevertheless, 22 years of age, another LSU wide receiver, 76.5 on the boom rate, 240 points, good enough to finish as the 4th best wide receiver in all of fantasy football this past year. Brian Thomas is it as well, man. This kid has got a bright future ahead of him. And, I mean, once he figures it all out, finds his full route tree, finds the way that this team's going to play, hopefully Trevor Lawrence can take another leap. Please, TL, Sunshine, do something good. And you know they're going to add more pieces to this offense as well. He is definitely, Brian Thomas, one of these guys that is a big-time riser and will be a top 10 commodity for many years to come. Number 8, Nico Collins, Houston Texans. Again, very much interchangeable for me. You can go Nico all the way to 6 over a Puka. It's very much in that same tier of class of these wide receivers. 75% of the boom rate. Spent some time in that medical room himself as well, even though we saw CJ Stroud kind of take a backseat on the sophomore slump. 68 for 1,007 TDs for a Nico. Very good campaign. And you know what? For me, I'll admittedly say that I really did undersell Nico Collins. I did not think he was going to be this good in the NFL. He definitely is an alpha wide receiver, and he is going to showcase that every single year. It'll be interesting to see what these Texans do. But Nico with a CJ Stroud definitely is going to give you the point totals you require. Barring any health concerns or injuries, Nico Collins is one of the better wide receivers, youthful wide receivers in this league. Number 9, Jackson Smith-Njigba, my dude, JSN. You guys know I was pushing up a JSN since his rookie class. Love me some Smith-Njigba, man. And now, what did I say this offseason? If I don't see the transition from, you know, whether it be a Tyler Lockett, less targets to a DK Metcalf, and utilizing a JSN that much more, I would be extremely shocked. It did take some time this year. There were some up and down games, but 22 years of age, he definitely figured it out. 203 points, finished as the top 10 wide receiver, 1,100 yards, 100 receptions, 6 touchdown receptions for a JSN. Very good season for him. I love his game. He could legit be one of the best route running wide receivers in this league in the coming, I want to even say 2 years. People are going to be talking about him, that he's unguardable. You cannot guard this man. He is just getting, started with his craft. He's so damn good. What does hurt him a little bit is that 47% on that boom rate. Geno just, there were certain contests early on in the season where you're like, get out of your own way and just force feed JSN. They finally figured it out as the year did go on. Rumors that a DK Metcalf could also be traded this offseason, so that would, implant a JSN as a wide receiver 1 in Seattle, and I'm definitely all for it. Number 10, Drake London, Dirty Birds, baby, 22 years of age, 58% on that boom rate, played with the Kirko Chains this year, and finished as a top 5 quarterback. Yes, Michael Penix did take over, and it didn't really lose any steam. That was a good positive thing that we wanted to see. Penix is a reliable quarterback. Is he ever going to be a great quarterback? Time will tell. I'm still kind of, I want to say I'm better than lukewarm on a Michael Penix, but at least we saw the ability of a Drake London without anything, lesser between a Kirko Chains and a Michael Penix. So maybe even in some degrees there were better statistical progress with a Penix over a Kirk Cousins. So at least in this respect, I do like a Drake London. Love the upside. 1,200 yards, 9 TDs, best season he's had, and it's only going to continue to move up this way. So Drake London, Penix, and a Bijan, that's your 3 dogs in this offense, and it's going to be this way in Atlanta for many years to come. Number 11, Garrett Wilson. I could definitely raise a Garrett Wilson all the way up to number 6 as well and be completely comfortable with it. The only reason here, what are they doing with the quarterback situation? He's visibly frustrated. I mean, is Aaron Rodgers going to return? We will see. Probably not. Highly unlikely. What are they going to do at the quarterback spot? He's tired of this, losing trend in New York. 1,100 yards, 100 receptions himself. He still balls out, man. Garrett Wilson is an alpha wide receiver as well. Just needs that steady, reliable quarterback that he can absolutely flourish with. And, the future is still so bright. Rumors that he may request a trade this offseason. I don't see the Jets giving him up, but, until his contract is up, we'll see if they fix the quarterback spot. If not, New York Jet fans, I really do believe he could jump ship on y'all, at least on the open market. Number 12, A.J. Brown, grown-ass man. seeing a little bit of a haircut this year. We saw, the pass game kind of go backward in Philly. Jalen Hurts did see himself, injured the final 2 games, I believe, of the season. So, A.J. Brown is still one of these guys, but under 200 points, not so great, man. So we got to put it down just a little bit. 69% on that boom rate. Cracked 1,000 yards as well. It just didn't feel like, typical A.J. Brown grown-ass man season. Hence why I got him down my board a little bit. 26 years old. So we'll see if he can increase his stock again this next season. But he's still extremely reliable. But there were many times where he gave us very poor point showings. Hence why I got him falling down my board just a little bit. Number 13, my dude, CO2, Chris Olave. What a horrific hit he took, man. That concussion, being carted off the field. First real big injuries Olave has seen in his entire football career. Going back to college, we didn't really see many times that he was playing with any ailments. He's still 23 years of age, coming with a guy like Garrett Wilson. These guys, they're definitely in the same class, just different type of wide receiver. Olave is too damn good. You put the ball anywhere close to this man, he's going to make a damn play. Give him some more reliable pieces. Started looking good with Rashid Shaheed as well. But, if they figure out their quarterback spot as well, we're hearing rumors and rumblings, potentially the Saints could be in on somebody like a Sam Darnold. That would absolutely uplift a Chris Olave as well. Barring his concussion issues, he should be good, coming back for the 2025 season. But his season was basically a wash, only played in 8 games post that concussion, and they shut him down for the remainder of the year. So it is what it is, but Chris Olave, CO2, still my guy, and I'm going to be continuously promoting this man. He's far too good of a talent. Number 14, Marvin Harrison Jr. Everybody's jumping ship on Marvin Harrison. Do not do that. That is silly. This is the same on the reverse. So coming into this season, everybody was uplifting him being a top 8. I've even seen fantasy wide receiver coming in as a rookie. I was saying that's kind of foolish, man. You got to wait and see. Even though the talent is up the wazoo, I get it with somebody like a Malik Nabers showcasing what he can do. Everyone's saying that Marvin Harrison Jr. is a bust. He is not a bust whatsoever. They're going to figure this thing out in Arizona. He's far too talented. And the lack of target share and the production that he did provide, 885 and 8 touchdowns off only 62 receptions. Force feed this man the freaking football. He should have at least 7 to 9 targets per game at minimum, especially playing with a Kyler Murray. Get this man the football. He will repay you. There were some drops. There were some lackluster routes. There's some lack of effort plays, but he'll definitely figure that out as he does go on. Marvin Harrison Jr. is a stud, and I will not be surprised if by next season we have him in the top 10 after the season is concluded. Lad McConkey, he's a good lad. He comes in at number 15 with these Los Angeles Chargers. What a season for Lad as well. Loved him with the Bulldogs, and he just picked up where he left off with Justin Herbert and company. They're going to add more wide receiver talent. 23 years of age. This last wide receiver class was absolutely stellar. So much talent. 10 boom games for a Lad McConkey this year. Almost 200 points. And it's still very good. 82 for almost 1,207 TDs. Very good campaign for Lad McConkey. He is I don't want to say he's necessarily a wide receiver 1, but he's good enough to be somebody that can be extremely productive, kind of like, Jordy Nelson type of situation where he's going to crack the 1,000. He's going to be, 80 plus, 100 plus receptions. But is he ever going to be relied upon as, the true number 1 alpha? It is what it is. He's so good at what he does, and Justin Herbert and him will only continue to grow their chemistry. Love me some Lad McConkey. Number 16, Scary Terry McLaurin. A lot of them have him down the board due to age. Love me some Terry as well. I'm a sucker for OSU wide receivers. He is one of them as well. 28 years of age. That's why a lot of people dropping him down the board. But playing with somebody like a Jaden Daniels, JD, that this is only going to continue to rise. That this offense is going to add wide receiver talent. I get it. You had Diami Brown. You had other wide receivers that you're looking for. You had Olamide Zaccheaus, stuff like that. You got to get this guy a bona fide secondary option that can help pull coverage from his side, and you're only going to continue to see Terry have big contests. One of his better seasons, 13 TDs. I believe that's a career high for a Scary Terry, and he finished as the number 6 wide receiver. You go back in my videos this offseason, it had the safe play, was the safe as they come, was Scary Terry with a JD. Called that one, hit perfectly, take a little victory lap on that one. 226 points for Scary Terry. The future still looks extremely bright, even though he is on the older side at 28 years of age. I'm still all in on a Scary Terry McLaurin. Number 17, T. Higgins, 25 years of age. Is he going to return to Cincy? Is he going to go somewhere else and be that number one wide receiver? We will see, man. We know that T. Higgins is a true number one in this league as well. He showcased that before JaMarr Chase did come to the team. Joey B's making every effort to get this entire team back this next season with a T. Higgins, with a Hendrickson, with Mike Gesicki, with signing a JaMarr Chase. I don't know if they're going to pay that many players in Cincinnati. They typically don't historically, so that does not bode well, and T's going to want to cash in. Only biggest problem with T. Higgins is those injuries, man. Always dealing with some knee, hammy, ankle, always dealing with some kind of ailment that definitely derails us. But when he did come back and when he is on the field, this man's an absolute dynamo. But the grass may not always be greener on the other side. You're going to go from somebody like a JaMarr Chase to who? That's the question, man. You're going to go to New England? Drake May's a nice consolation prize. You're going to go to the Las Vegas Raiders? Who's there to throw the football to you as of today? So there is, potential that this could actually decrease the value of a T. Higgins as well. 185 points in only 12 games. Absolutely stellar. 67% basically on the boom rate. Loved what T did when he was on the field. It's just never have a complaint when he's on the field. It's just when he's not on the field, it's when he hurts us. Number 18, and potentially dropping down the board a little bit more, is a Rashee Rice. Due in part to that gruesome leg injury. Patrick Mahomes went for the tackle, rolled him up, broke his leg, tore his knee if I'm not mistaken. So it is bad news. And Rashee Rice, definitely one of these guys, youthful talent in an offense with a Patrick Mahomes. 75% on that boom rate, absolutely was killing it early on and then went down with that injury. So it is one of these situations. This offense is definitely molded for a Rashee Rice to be extremely successful. We see some doctors saying he may not come back to be the guy that he used to be. So if he does lose some speed, we will see. I'm not a doctor and I'm not going to, predict and say that Rashee Rice is done, but there is a lot of worry for me as well. That's why I got him down here at number 18. Number 19, my dude, Jordan Addison. Addy, my guy. You guys know how much I'm a big Jordan Addison supporter. Playing with somebody like JJ does help the cause, but I do think that he's a standalone talent as well. If you put him on any team as a wide receiver one, I think he does do Terry McLaurin stuff, man. That's exactly what you're doing. Great route runner, is able to get open, speed for days, but it is playing with a JJ that does hurt his cause. He did miss time as well this year, I believe, with a hamstring injury. Finished as a 20th wide receiver, 46% on that boom rate. Still got you 200 points. So he's flex appeal. Wide receiver 3 was definitely here. Still on the youthful side of things. And we'll see what they do at the quarterback spot in Minnesota. So definitely here at 19 for upside potential solely because of him. But if the quarterback situation is going to be porous, he should fall down my board as well. DK Metcalf at number 20 feels dirty, but it's due in part to, is he going to return to Seattle? Is it going to be the same thing? If he's back in Seattle with Geno and company, I think we see the writing on the wall that DK and JSN could coexist together like we have seen with a DK and a Tyler Lockett in the past as well. But if DK does get traded to another club, who's going to be his quarterback? So that's another question mark that I do have. I will not be shocked if I do raise a DK up my board quite a bit if he does fall into another team, or if, Tyler Lockett's gone and this Seattle Seahawks offense may, do things differently, but I doubt it. So if he remains with the Seahawks, I'm okay with number 20 rank for a DK. If he does get traded somewhere else, we will see. And we'll evaluate later after that. One of his worst seasons on record. 66 for 992 and 5 TDs. Just definitely was an afterthought down the stretch. Definitely did harm us more than he did help us this year. DJ Moore, Chicago Bears. Again, another player I could definitely put up my board, probably around the 15 mark. but it is one of these situations. While they do have a Ben Johnson, I got to see it to believe it, man. Even though DJ, there was so many plays where there was, laziness, lack of, upside encouragement on his part. He's frustrated, and I understand. Losing sucks, and it does take a toll on these guys. Is Caleb going to, spark that plug with a Ben Johnson? Will DJ Moore, be taking over the Amon-Ra St. Brown type of role? We'll see if it does happen. We obviously know DJ Moore is an extremely talented wide receiver, but 47% under 1,000 yards, still got you 98 receptions, so saved you in PPR leagues this year, but definitely one of these guys that is always up and down my board based on circumstance. And again, in this situation, we got to say, until we see the roster build out for the Chicago Bears, I definitely got to put him down my board just a little bit. Tyreek Hill's Cheetah at number 22. 29 years of age, coming off one of his worst seasons in the NFL. And, he was requesting a trade as soon as the season was over, and then he pulled that back, also saying, fine, okay, I was hot, and I got to, calm down. But it was one of his worst seasons. Tua going down showcased the fact that Miami does not have a backup plan at the quarterback spot. And for how many concussions Tua has had in his career, I am absolutely shocked you don't have a quality backup quarterback to at least push this offense down the field. Tyreek Hill definitely, maybe he was playing injured this year as well. Definitely looked like he lost a step. He's still one of the fastest players in the league, but it was not Tyreek Hill-esque speed. Guys were locking on his hip. He wasn't pulling away from guys, and he did have under 1,000 yards this year, 52% on the boom rate. Definitely crippled us when Tua was out, and the age is increasing. Steps could be lost continuously season after season now, so Tyreek Hill definitely falls down to number 22. Number 23, Zay Flowers. Love me some Zay is just the situation in Baltimore. Very similar numbers like we saw Hollywood Brown play with a Lamar Jackson in this offense, especially with somebody like a Derrick Henry. We know they're going to continue to be super run heavy, and they just need Zay Flowers to pop off when they ask him to. Under 200 points, 41% on the boom rate, lost some time to that knee injury as well. But it's one of these situations. He still played 17 games, had only 7 booms. It does cripple us. He's a good high-end wide receiver 3 by most, and then a good wide receiver 2 most weeks. He just needs more targets, needs to be more involved, but they're going to continue to play the ball how they do in Baltimore. So for me, Zay Flowers, your ceiling is hovering around that 80 receptions, 1,100 yards, and unless he finds his way into the end zone 10 times, we're going to see a very similar stat line for a Zay Flowers. Still a very much quality wide receiver that we can play in our flex every single week, but your top end points will be capped on the season. You will get your games, but on the season it will be capped. Number 24, Jameson Williams. JMO, loved JMO as a sleeper, breakout or bust. This past offseason highlighted him as well. This was the year, and there was a dedication to get him the football quite a bit. Absolutely uplifted a Jared Goff this year. 60% on that boom rate, 1,000 yards, 7 TDs. Mr. Speed and Mr. Gadgets, but will it change without Ben Johnson? We'll see. But I still love the skill set of JMO. He is far too talented to keep the shackles on. He looks healthy. He's not fighting his hands anymore. He looks like the Alabama JMO that we know and love, and I think that it's going to continue for him. He's at 24, but definitely on the board to get a massive increase. But right now, I think it's fair at 24. Number 25, back on my board, Jerry Jeudy, another Roll Tide alum, 24 years of age, playing with those Cleveland Brownies. Finally showcased the fact of what I believed Jerry Jeudy was coming out of college. He hit 90 receptions, 12, 29, and 4 TDs, 58% on the boom rate. His game took off with a Jameis Winston, and he was just killing it. But then Jameis goes to the bench, and then, okay, he still had decent stats, but not with Jameis Winston stats. So we'll see what they do at the quarterback spot. Deshaun Watson tears his Achilles again. They're going to have to go to somebody. So Kirk O'Chains comes to Cleveland. That's not necessarily good news. We've seen better days from Kirk Cousins as well. So they will have to go quarterback shopping, see what they do. Maybe they draft a quarterback as well. But, we could definitely, with a good quarterback, Jerry Jeudy definitely showcased that he fixed his dropping problem at least, but he's definitely deserving of being at 25 right now with good upside only at 24 years of age. Jalen Waddle time, 26. Big drop for him this year. Lots of injuries, lots of poor play, much like Tyreek. I mean, without Tua, they went to bed and they took a nap and they never woke up, basically. 18% on the boom rate for Waddle. My goodness, dude. All these Alabama wide receivers here right now clumped together, 24, 25, 26. So many Bama wide receivers that were so good. I still love me some Jalen Waddle. I just don't know how this Miami team is going to recover. I mean, like I said, is the coach figured out somewhat? Is Tua going to remain healthy? We will see. But Jalen Waddle time still resides here at 26, but can easily jump into the top 20 with another good campaign. Number 27, Devontae Smith. I could actually raise him above probably a Jerry Jeudy. I put him down here only because likely these Eagles are going to lose Kellen Moore to those New Orleans Saints, and they're going to have another offensive switch-over system, and Jalen Hurts, to me, can support it. But we're getting to the point where we're getting 165, 150 points, 68 to 75 receptions, 800 yards, and if he doesn't score those ATDs, you're in a big pile of hurt with a Devonta Smith, another Roll Tide wide receiver, but I'm telling y'all, I love Devonta Smith. I think there is so much upside here. It's just about volume. It's just about target share. 69% on the boom rate, still very good. Love the upside of the others, more so than a Smith right now. Smitty, I still love Smitty, but can you trust him week in, week out in this offense that now with Saquon Barkley has proven to be much more run heavy, taking down the pass, not being so reliant on the pass game. So, again, we should roll it back one more year with a Saquon being run heavy as well. Maybe not 2,000 yards, but it did decrease a Devontae Smith in his passing or receiving upside this season. Xavier Worthy at 28, Kansas City Chiefs. I loved me some Worthy. You guys know this. Texas product. Loved his game. Wanted the Bills to draft him. I'm on record many times saying we could have had James Cook speed with an Xavier Worthy speed. Give it to me all day, and we did not get it, but it's okay. Worthy definitely on the rise, especially if issues with Rashee Rice does continue with that leg. He could absolutely fly up boards. He picked up his game as the season wore on, 157 points, 47% on that boom rate himself, but he's definitely rising up my board. George Pickens, number 29. I almost dropped this man out of my top 30. What are they going to do with the quarterback spot in Pittsburgh? They're going to draft. They're going to go with Justin Fields. We saw how, disgruntled this man was. Just not enough targets. This man still put up 900 yards, but it's only the 3 TDs. Hated how this passing attack looked in Pittsburgh. So for me, until further notice, George definitely has to fall down this board. And finishing it with a Mike Evans. Big Mike finishes with 1,000 yards for the 100th time in his NFL career. This guy's a killer. Still at 30 years of age. If you're still going for championships, Mike Evans definitely is on my team. I would, recommend shopping him if you can still get a boatload for him. But if you're going for championships, Mike Evans definitely is a fixture each and every year to get you that fantasy championship. But there you have it. That is top 30 Dynasty wide receivers as we see them today, pre-Super Bowl. Things will definitely change and morph, like I said, with the draft, with free agency. But this is definitely a good spot to calculate where these guys' values are as of today. But nevertheless, as always, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, jump in those comments, give me your thoughts, and we'll see you next time. I am out.